Okay, just take a deep breath with me. From the moment we're young, society just piles on these expectations, right? Worry about wrinkles, try to stay relevant, care about what the neighbors think. It's exhausting. But what if getting older wasn't about adding more, but actually getting lighter? Well, today, we're going to start challenging the weight of all those expectations.
Yeah, that is the feeling we're aiming for today. A true, deep sense of relief. We're going to unpack that backpack together, identify the specific weights you've been carrying, and maybe you didn't even realize some of them were in there, and we're going to give you the permission you absolutely deserve to finally put them down.
You see, the secret to a really happy, healthy life after 60, well, it isn't always about adding more stuff, more vitamins, more activities, more goals. Sometimes it's about subtracting what no longer serves you. We're going to walk through 7 specific burdens, and I've got to tell you, number 5, that one was a complete game changer for me personally, so you're going to want to stick around for that. Okay, let's get into it.
All right, so first up, let's talk about the social burdens. These are those invisible rules, the expectations we just kind of absorb from the world around us about how we're supposed to act and who we're supposed to be. Well, it is time to start questioning them.
And let's start with a big one, the perfect hostess syndrome. Oh my goodness, do you remember those dinner parties? You know the ones I'm talking about? Where you'd cook for 2 days straight, polish all the silver, and you were just completely exhausted before a single guest even walked through the door. Yeah, it's time to let that go.
The real freedom here comes from a simple shift in focus. It's about realizing that a real connection, it isn't a performance. Are you tired? Order a pizza. Use paper plates. I promise it's okay. A true friend is coming over to see you, not to inspect your baseboards. And anyone else? Well, they're just an inspector. And we don't need inspectors in our lives anymore, do we?
Okay, this next one. This can be a really tough one, I know, especially when it involves our family. For decades, so many of us have made choices based on what other people would think or say. But listen, that contract has expired.
I love this way of thinking about it. You have officially graduated from the school of pleasing everyone, magna cum laude. So, if you want to spend your savings on a cruise instead of leaving a giant inheritance, that is your choice. If you want to paint your front door bright pink, go for it. Your only job now is to make yourself happy.
Okay, let's shift gears and talk about some physical burdens. Because it's not just our social lives, is it? For years and years, society has had a lot to say about how our bodies should look and what we should be wearing, especially as we get older.
I mean, seriously, who wrote the rule book that says women over 60 have to cut their hair short and only wear beige? It's this unwritten, unspoken rule, but man, does it have a real impact on how we feel we can express ourselves.
And here is the absolute truth. Your body is not public property. It's not up for a vote. Those awful old phrases were just invented to make women feel small and stay in their lane. So if you love your long hair, grow it. If a bright red lipstick makes you feel fantastic, wear it. The new rule is simple. Wear what makes you smile when you catch your reflection.
All right, let's get into health for a minute. For decades, most of our lives, so many of us have been taught to obsess over one single number, the number on the scale. But here's the thing. The science and our priorities, they shift pretty dramatically after 60.
So, that old obsession with being skinny, we need to replace it with something much healthier. Research actually shows that after 60, carrying a little bit of extra weight can be protective. It can help with bone density and give your body some reserves if you get sick. So please, stop dieting to try and fit into a dress from 1975.
Instead, let's lock in on 2 new priorities. They are strength and function. It's that simple. Ask yourself, can I carry my own groceries? Can I lift my grandchild? Can I get up off the floor without a struggle? That is real health. That is what truly, truly matters, so much more than the size of your waistline.
Okay, and now we arrive at the emotional burdens. These are the ones we carry on the inside, those internal weights that can just drain our precious energy and absolutely steal our peace of mind if we let them.
And here it is, number 5. This is the one I mentioned at the beginning that was just so life-changing for me. It's dropping the burden of toxic relationships, specifically what I call the history trap. And that's the belief that just because you've known someone for a really long time, you're obligated to keep them in your life, even if they're consistently negative or just plain draining to be around.
So here's the new way to measure this. Your energy is a finite, precious resource. It's not unlimited. So after you spend time with someone, just ask yourself, do I feel energized or do I feel drained?
And if the answer is consistently drained, it might be time to let that relationship fade. You do not owe anyone your peace of mind. Let me say that again. You don't owe anyone your peace.
All right, next up, let's talk about the pressure to be some kind of tech genius. I mean, do you ever feel anxious or like you're falling behind because you have no idea what TikTok is, or you don't care about the latest AI gadget? Yeah, me too. Well, here's a really comforting thought. You have a lifetime of wisdom that no computer will ever be able to replicate. Technology is a tool. It's not a test you have to pass. So learn what you need. Learn how to video call your grandkids or how to stay safe online, and then feel completely free to ignore the rest. It is more than okay to be analog in a very digital world.
And that brings us to our final burden. And oh boy, this one is maybe the most culturally ingrained of them all. This is all about our obsession with productivity and what we've truly earned the right to do after a lifetime of work.
It's time to stop caring about being busy. Our culture, it really does worship at the altar of productivity, doesn't it? When you retire, what's the first thing people ask? So what are you doing with all your time? As if simply relaxing is a crime or a waste of a life. This is such a critical shift in how we see things. You have worked for 40, maybe 50 years. You have earned the right to just sit and watch the birds for an hour. That is not wasting time. That is living. For you, right now, rest is productive. Joy is productive.
And when you start to drop all of these burdens, what you're left with is this absolutely beautiful concept. JOMO, the joy of missing out. It's when you finally realize that most of the things you were so worried about in your 30s and 40s, they just didn't matter. Not really. JOMO is the freedom that comes from missing out on all the drama, the stress, and all of other people's expectations.
So, here's the beautiful truth of it all. As we get older, the filter just falls away. You finally get to choose what matters to you. So I want to leave you with this question. What is one thing, just one thing, that you have joyfully, finally stopped caring about? Go ahead and share it below, because your wisdom just might be the permission someone else needs to hear today.